Hi there, welcome back to another lesson of HTML and CSS. And in this lesson, we are going to learn about CSS links and lists. We are going to talk about different sort of styles that we can give to our lists and links to personalize it according to our markup. And we would also see how to remove their default styles that are applied to them actually by default. So first of all, let's talk about styling links. So for styling links, actually a typical link is of a blue color and underlined with a blue line as well. So we can style it in to look like some sort of button as well. As you can see in our example right below, there are 4 buttons that we have styled using CSS. So we can do this by using CSS as well. So let us see how do we do it. So there are actually 4 states of a link tag of a markup, a tag actually. So you can style it according to all these 4 states. So in the next example you would get a clear depiction of it, but for now an important thing is that it has 4 states actually: link state and visited state and hover state and active state. Link state is a normal state of a link. Visited state is a link that is a state when a user has visited that link. Like in Google, we see when we come back to our link to our search engine page, we see links that we have visited to a different color. And in hover, we change the style of the link tag when our mouse cursor is on or inside that a tag. And whereas active tag means when we have clicked the button, and the color of the button or the style of the button at that time would be in click state and actually in active state. So there is a sort of order of using these styles or these states inside our CSS. So this is in the same order as if I have mentioned it here: link, visited, hover and active. So hover state must come after link and visited state, whereas active state should come after hover state, because in CSS there is a order sort of thing that we are going to talk about in our upcoming videos as well, that the style that comes after has more priority and could override the style that is written above. So this is an example of using it. It is using this style just to remove the text decoration, or by mean the underline of a text. So it is using 4 states, all 4 states. This is the way of using those states inside our CSS. So let's jump to our IDE and see how do we do it practically. So here we are. These are our files from previous lessons. So you can jump to our previous lessons as well to get more depiction or more knowledge about it. So this is lesson number 23. This is about CSS links and lists .html, and give it a boilerplate links and lists. And inside body tag I'm going to create an a tag, and inside I'm giving a random link and giving it this is a link. Sorry for the typo. And right here I'm going to create an internal CSS internal style tag, and inside this tag I'm going to style this a tag in, first of all, in link state, and then in visited state, and then in hover state, and then in active state. So this is the order of using the style for this. So I'm going to give it text decoration. Let us copy it and paste it right in all, because we have to change it in all. If you don't change it in others, it would work, but it is according to your preferences that how do you want to style it in different styles or different states. So in this link I'm going to give it text decoration of none, mean to say remove its underline by default, which is there. So in hover we give it underline, and inside active also we give it underline. So right here if I go live and see what happens, right here this is our link tag. By default it has color of blue, which we didn't override yet. So we have just took an action to remove it or add the text decoration or the underline only. So right here it's a simple one. It is in link state right now, so it doesn't has any sort of text decoration. When we hover over it, it gets the hover state and gets the underline under it, which is the text decoration underline. And when we click it, its state change, and this is the click state. These are by default red colors or blue colors that are being used by the CSS. We haven't overridden it yet, so just skip the colors and see the decoration. This is the click state. I am still pressing my button. When I will leave it, this has shifted to visited right here. So next, after text decoration, here comes the background color. So for each link we can change its background color as well in different states. So if I come here and give it a background color of green in a link state, mean to say in a simple state, and in visited state we give it a background color of blue, and when we hover over it we give it the background color of orange, and when it is active, background color of red. So this is it. These are the colors that we have used here. Inside our browser you can see this is in a link state, so it is having a blue. Let us see here, it is having a visited right here because we have visited it once. We have clicked it. If I come back and refresh it, it is still clicked link. So if I may just change it, so now you can see it is in link state, right, according to our color. If I change it, this is our visited state because we have visited this inside this page earlier when we just clicked in our previous example, and when we hover, it shifts to the hover state and its background color changes to that respective color that we have given in that style. So after changing this background color for link tag, we can just demonstrate to an advanced example showing you how do we transform a simple link into a button style. Let's here try a bit of it. So I would just keep these styles so that it may be recorded for you. If you want these source files and all the examples used in it, study materials, slides, everything would be available in the description. The link would be there. So for a tag right here, you can give it a different ID or class and use it with it here as well. And if you don't know how to use them, then you can shift to our previous videos. We have described each and every aspect of those things there. So in this a tag, let us give it a background color of actually green, for example, and color of white, and padding of 10 pixels. We have learned about all of these styles previously. And for text transform, let's give it capitalized. Let us see in our browser now. Right, you can see it has an extra thing, which is that text decoration. So we have to remove it to none, and let us make its font size a bit smaller as well to actually 15 pixels, and decrease this padding as well so that it may give us a bit of professional look. Right here our tag is styled. If I may give it a bit prettified text here, so you can see it just looks like a button now. So inside a state of A or active, when we have clicked it, or A hover, this is a different way of using it, writing the styles. So you can see about them in our previous videos. We have described it. So in these states, we want to change its background color to orange. So as you can see, this is a simple button. When we hover over it, it changes its color. So this is it. So this is the way of styling these links, and these are different sort of cursors that we can use for every link. We can give this inline style for each one as well. So this cursor button means then when we would hover on it, what would be the style for our cursor, would be our cursor. We can use it inside here as well. So give it the cursor pointer, which means change into that different cursor, which would be the pointer cursor. So when we hover, you can see the pointer has changed, and we can change it into a different one right here as well. So if we may, for instance, use this move one, which is on 6th line, come here, give it move and go to browser, you can see the cursor changes. I think you have got the depiction of that styling as well. So you can now style your links to buttons. So the next lesson is CSS list styles. So in this topic we are going to learn about how do we style our lists and why do we apply actually styles to our lists to personalize it. So there are actually many different purposes for which we can use styling for lists. So we use it for styling its markers, mean to say give it different markers, use an image as a marker if we want to use it, and change the background of whole list or list items. So these are different things that we can do using styles. So after this comes, let's first of all talk about customizing the list item markers. So for customizing this list item markers, so pardon the mistake right here. In here you have to use this property list style type to change the marker. So there are different type of markers that you can use. By default they are circle, square. By default it's circle, and the other options we have are square, upper Roman, lower alpha, etc. For example, let's create a list here. Give it items, item 1. Items, list item, item 2, and remove this mistake from here and just go to our browser. Let's see how does it looks by default. Here it is, its default style. And if I may come here back and give it a style of list style type to square, for example. So we can see in our browser right here the icons for the markers have changed right here, as you can see. After markers come the next topic, which is using an image as a marker. So for using an image, we use this list style image tag here or property here. So for it we give the relative path to the image inside this URL function. So for using it, we can come to our IDE and give you an example for it. Right here, if I want to use this image that we used in our previous lessons as well, text image, which is this simple image right here. So I would come here and give it list style image actually, and give it the relative path inside this URL function. Inside assets we have this text image.png, and let's see in our browser. As you can see, this is the same image that we have inside our inside our directory, and it is using that image right here. You can use any sort of your personalized image right here. After this method of using image right here, we can come to our next, which is positioning the list markers inside our style. So as you can see, by default list style position property is set to outside inside our CSS. In this example, as you can see, the markers are outside this box, which is our list, and if we want to bring it inside this border, we can give it list style position to inside. So for showing you that example, let me give it a border of 1 pixel solid black. Inside it you can see this is the border for it, this way. And if I give it list style position to outside, it won't make any difference because it is by default this way. And if I may change it to inside, then you can see it has a bit of shift towards inside. I have used this border so that I may show you the distance from from left side it has given to it. So it is now inside. This is the way of positioning the markers here. After positioning the markers here, I would show you a default to remove the default settings from our list. So to do this, by default we have list style set to circle. We can shift it to none, and we can also remove the default margin and padding commented so that you may not get disturbed and keep record of it. List style type to none, margin 0, padding 0, and right if we can We come to our browser and see here there is no margin, no padding, no links, or actually not links, no style links, list styles actually. Sorry for that. No list style here. This is a simple list right here. So there is also a shorthand for list styling. So for that we just have to specify all these properties inside our list style property. We have to give value in this order. That first one, the first value would be our list style, space, followed by list position, space, followed by if we want to use any image as a scare as it. So if we won't be having any such sort of image that we are specifying inside our URL tag URL function actually, then it would use that default style for it, which is scare. So this is it for this video. I hope you liked the video. If you did, press the thumbs up button and subscribe it if you want next videos from this playlist in your suggestion, and watch it at the time to get a better expertise in this topic. So I hope you liked the video. Thank you. Goodbye.